everyone, this is Rural Life and Sustainable Living, and I am Jabulile, aka Malushava. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you are returning, and thank you everyone for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for sharing, thank you for commenting, liking. Please continue to support the channel. In today's video, I previously said that I think on the comment section on my previous videos I said that I would talk about this topic again. There's a video that I did a while back when we just moved here. I think it was in 2021. It's one of the first videos that I made. You can go back and look at it. It's about purchasing land in a rural area. I did touch on the subject of Ukubekwa, which to translate it directly into English would be to put a person. But we are gonna say this ceremony, which is the topic we're gonna be talking about today. It's a ceremony basically to give you permission to occupy, which is Ukubekwa. Now, the thing is that I've gotten quite a lot of questions, and I feel like there's a lot of misconception about what this actually is, and I think people also don't understand just how this whole thing of purchasing land in a rural area works. So I'm just gonna try and expound a little bit on that, and I hope that it'll give you guys a better understanding, and I think also a little bit more appreciation for what this is about, the process and the ceremony, and just clearing up some of those things that you may not understand. Now, when you buy land in a rural area, whether you're buying it from someone whose family has owned the land for years and years and years, generation and generation and generation after generation, or you're buying this land, or you're even getting it from a chief, the process is the same. Whether you are from that place, or whether you are coming from another place, as long as you are going to occupy a certain space or a piece of land within a rural area, you have to go through the process of Ukubekwa. Now, what happens is that, oh guys, like I'm standing on grass and I'm feeling a bit itchy, and it's getting warmer and warmer. Like, yeah, I'm feeling quite uncomfortable out here today. I think like bugs have just come out to like just enjoy the weather today a little bit more than usual. But anyway, let us continue. So you go through this process, which is to recognize you as the legal, I'll use the term, the legal occupant of this piece of land. The concern, I want to address the concern first. The concern for many people is that, well, do you really own the land? So I want to start with this before we go into this process of Ukubekwa. Do you really own the land? You do really own the land. It is yours for as long as you and your family, your generation, your relatives desire to occupy that land. So just like us now, we have our home here. In as much as we know that, for example, here in KZN, there is Ingonyama Trust, all the rural lands and other lands, not just the rural, but there's a whole lot of, like, I'm not sure how many hectares of land that are under the Ingonyama Trust, which are under the guardianship of, or I don't know if it's custodianship of the king of the Zulu, right? So the land is not the king's land. He is the custodianship or the guardian of the land. It is the land of the Zulu people, guys. I think we need to understand that. And in as much the king has whatever powers he has as the king, of course, so he can use the land as he sees fit. He is the king, right? However, it does not mean that therefore he gets to abuse people, because I feel like people just automatically assume that the king can just come here and be like, I like this land, I'm taking your land. It doesn't work that way. Khona abantu, there are people that have been put on this land, that occupy this land, and moreover, there are families that have occupied lands here for generations and generations and generations and generations. So can you imagine, because the king is the king, coming and saying, Sugan, go, this is my land? It doesn't, the king is there to serve his people. The king is there for the people. So and there are situations where like kings will abuse their power, but we do live within a constitution. We know of even the Abatembu king who got arrested and had to serve, he was sentenced to 12 years in prison for how he treated his people, for a lack of a better word, his subjects. So you are not a king to abuse people. You are there to serve your people. You are there to advance your people, your community. So I need us to understand that whole thing. That even though there is a king that is the overseer, that is the ruler of the land, or like KwaZulu Natal in particular, it doesn't mean that he can just do anything. You can go, if let's say someone comes and says, well, I'm the king, and then I'm gonna remove you from this place. You can go to court. And even in the situation where people were being charged like a leasing fee here in KZN, they were under, because they were occupying land under the Ingonyama Trust, and this is land that they've owned and been on for generations and generations and generations. It's been in their family, and suddenly they had to start paying a lease fee. Like every month they had to pay a certain amount, or every year. The courts have ruled that they have to be paid back their money because that was wrong. So you don't just, guys, the king can't just come and take people's things. I hope I make that clear. I hope you understand. So basically, when you own land in a rural area in KZN, you are given that land to occupy for as long as you guys or your family wants to occupy that land. If you leave, for example, you are given a certain amount of time, because for me, my understanding and my appreciation of it is to protect everybody. Imagine how many abandoned homes would be in these places, and with that there comes vandalism, there comes all sorts of crimes and all of that. People steal things, and they leave things in those unoccupied places, or they do all sorts of things there, that you can imagine. So it is to make sure that there isn't land that is just all sorts of land that can be used by other people to live and live off those lands that are just sitting, and there's nobody, because so and so owns that land, but they are not there, they've just left it, they don't even want it anymore. You're given a certain amount of time. If you don't come back for your land or to maintain your land, then it's gonna be given to someone else. I think it's fair. I think it's right, and I think it's fair. If you want to continue occupying your land and owning your land, you have to make sure that you maintain your structures, you maintain your land. And that's just how it works. Even after you've bought land, you're given a certain amount of time to build on that land, and you don't just build and just you leave it unoccupied. Someone has to occupy it and maintain it, and then from there you just continue living, guys. That it's as simple as that. If you want to continue owning your land and occupying your land, you just maintain it. You just make sure there's always somebody that is gonna make sure that everything is in order, and you don't leave it just unabandoned, and then we're just gonna have all sorts of structures that are just decaying and nobody's living there, and people need land, people need homes. So And we know that in rural areas, people build their own houses with soil and all sorts of just natural things that are around them, rocks or stone, they build. So we honestly don't need land that can be used to just stay because someone, and they even forget it, they are somewhere and they just want to own land all over the place and not use it. No. Anyways, now let us get into the video. I hope I made myself clear. I hope you understand. And you know, I just to wrap this part up, I feel like there's such a misconception that when it comes to Africa, kings are just there to abuse their subjects. They are not. That is such a misconception, and I want you to understand and make it clear that that is not the case. I'm not saying there are not incidents where there is abuse and whatever, but in those cases, people do have like avenues that they can go to rectify those kind of issues. People can go to court and people can get help. People have gotten help. You don't have to be rich and be able to afford lawyers upon lawyers. It's just normal people that have been able to get their money back after, for example, paying lease years and years, which was honestly unfair to those people, and it has been rectified, guys. Now, moving on, Ukubekwa, permission to occupy. So Ukubekwa is a ceremony. Someone asked me, does it involve, is it like an ancestral like ritual? First of all, you need to understand the whole thing of people and their ancestors. When it comes to things that involve my ancestors, only my family can be involved in that thing, in those rituals and things that are done as it relates to ancestors. I'm not gonna call the whole community and say, now we're going to have this when you do have ceremonies where you do invite them, of course, but you only invite them after you've done certain things. And I'm not well versed as when it comes to things like ancestral rituals and what, but I do have an understanding that I've come to have, and some knowledge that I've come to have. And what I know is that these are things that are family specific. Your family is the one that does that, and then after that you can invite people to come and eat with you if it's that type of a ceremony. But otherwise, I mean, you do it like just your family, and even in the family there's a specific person, not just everybody. There's a specific person that does that, right? And you know, I should actually not even say that this is about Ukubekwa. This I'm gonna call this video just giving a bit of an understanding on certain things that are done in the Zulu culture or in rural areas that I feel that are misconceptions, just given the questions that have been asked and the assumptions that have been put, just as it relates to some of these things. Now, when ubekwa, when this ceremony is being done, okay, you've got land, you say, okay, I've got land. Then you contact the chief, you tell them, okay, on such and such a day, I would like to have the ceremony done. Then the chief is gonna tell you, this is a list of things. You're gonna get bread, you're gonna get drinks. Drinks can be soft drinks, juice, and then you're gonna buy alcohol, right? And then there are specific bottles that they're gonna ask you to buy for the chief and for the king. And then you're gonna be told an amount. This amount differs from place to place, rural area, section to section, rural area to rural area. They're gonna tell you an amount. If you are from outside that specific place, you're gonna be charged more. There's gonna be a certain amount plus another certain amount because you are an outsider. But if you are from that place and maybe it's land from your family, or maybe you bought land somewhere else, even if it's not from your family, but you are from this particular area, you charged like way less because you are like from this community. That money is gonna be given to the chief, and then the day of the ceremony, he's gonna bring a book and a receipt. They're gonna write down that on this particular day, these people are witnesses, right? It's not just the chief that's gonna be in attendance. The community members are gonna be in attendance. That's why you're buying food. They also will tell you buy meat, this meat and that meat, and then you're gonna call your community members. You're gonna let them know in advance that okay, I'm inviting you on this day. I'm going to be I will be given. The chief will be giving me permission to occupy this space. So they're gonna come. They are basically witnesses of this, that okay, I bought this land from this person. My land starts from here to there, and the chief will be there saying, okay, the land starts from there to there, and everyone is working with you, with the chief. Say, and they put this plant. You must just go to my videos. You will see that plant. They're gonna plant this plant from this corner to that corner, and this corner to that corner, to say this is your space from here to there and here to there, and everyone is witness to this. It's a ceremony that is basically to welcome you, and also for the community to be witnesses that you are the rightful owner of this place. Nobody's gonna come and suddenly say, no, this is mine. When were you given permission to occupy? And who are the witnesses? So nobody can just come and claim your land. You have to be, this ceremony has to be done for you first, for you to be recognized as an owner of this space, or an occupant of this space. Right. So the chief is gonna bring a receipt book and this notebook where they will write, and then he's gonna go. He's gonna. I'm not sure if they go to the office, but there is even an office where this whole thing has to be registered, guys. I'm not sure if they do it on the same day or what, because with us, it was during the COVID times and stuff. So we got the slip after the chief. Like, guys, this is an honest thing. It's an honest thing. Literally, the chief told us, okay, guys, I'm writing this in the notebook, but because our offices are not open every day right now because of COVID, we go on a certain day they have an office at the magistrate's court, right there. So it's an official thing that is being done, and you are being recognized legally. So then he brought the slip after a few days. He did come back and say, okay, here's your slip with the amount and your surname. Basically, that now becomes your permission to occupy slip. That is like you get a title deed. You get a title deed, and here you get a permission to occupy. This is your proof that ubegiwe, you've been given permission to occupy, and this is your land. And so I've addressed the part where someone asked me, what ancestral ceremony, or is it an ancestral ceremony that is done? No, it's not, and it can't be, because it's a communal thing, and when it comes to things of ancestors, it's only you and your family that do those rituals. It's you and your family. The chief cannot come to my family and come and do the ritual for us, or those things. It is someone within the family that does that. So this is more of a celebration. It's more of a welcoming ceremony, and like a witness type of a thing for your own security. It's for you guys. And for me, like I've said before, that I really appreciate it, because that is now when you really get to connect and see more of your neighbors and the community. And you know what, people come from everywhere. They will come, people you don't know, they will come, but you may not even remember them afterwards, but trust me, they will remember you. They will remember you, and they will know. So I really appreciate that, because you get to connect with your family, your community members, you get to know each other. In one of the videos that I did, where I was just doing a mini series and talking to different people in different rural areas, just asking them what made them go to those to just make them move from city or wherever and into a rural area. And in one of those videos, there's a video I did with Tapelo, and he said someone even brought two chickens to give him. I think he said two chickens. And at the time of that video, the recording of that video, he already had 8 or so chickens from just those that were given to him as a way to welcome him to the community, and to make him really feel like part of the community. And that is what it is, really, guys. It's the ceremony of Ukubekwa is to officially make you the legal owner and the legal occupant of this land that you have, and also for you to familiarize yourself with the community members, and for the community members to familiarize themselves with you, get to know you, connect with them, and just make connections. And really, for me, I feel like you need to be a person that is really wanting to be part of a community, because the more you pull yourself out, you pull away from people that are trying to extend themselves in a rural area, the more people will also pull away from you, and you'll just be alone. And what I've learned is that it doesn't matter what you have, guys. You can be rich, the richest man, you always need someone. You will always need someone. And community is very, very important in a rural area. It's very important. It's your protection. It's everything. It's your enjoyment, really. It's your enjoyment, because when you show people love, they will show you love. That's just how it is. There are no high walls here. We all see each other. We are happy. We greet each other. We help each other in any way, even in the smallest ways. So that is a beautiful thing for me. The other thing that someone asked me was, because I'm this I belong to this religious group, and I don't drink alcohol, I don't think that is something that I would be comfortable with. Then, guys, I really, I'm sorry, I don't know how you're gonna do it, because you have to buy alcohol. You have to buy alcohol. And if you feel that it's not something that you're gonna be able to do, then unfortunately I don't think you're gonna be able to occupy any space in a rural area, because you cannot come to a place and want to put down your own rules. Like, the chief says he wants this, you want him to grant you the space, because even if you've bought it, the chief still has to be involved. So he can say, no, we're not gonna have this person because they want to come here and tell us what to do. That's not how it works. Respect is very, very, very important to not just Zulu people, but I believe everyone wants respect. But it's really a thing. It's really a thing here, especially in rural areas. You have to respect people. You have to respect people, and the way they do things, you have to respect it. You may not relate, you may not agree, but just respect it, and say, okay, you know what, I respect what you're doing, because it's not how I live or my thing, then I'm not gonna live here. And you just go and find space or land somewhere else. So I even gave an example like that. We don't eat meat, but we bought meat. We bought meat because that is what they wanted to, in order for them to do the ceremony, and because you are calling people, they eat meat, and you just do what you gotta do, guys. If you're not comfortable with it, then go to another place where you don't have to do all of that. But if you are looking to live this life, live a rural the rural life, basically, and be part of a community in that space, on that land that you are buying, and you want to be part of the community, then there are certain things that are just non-negotiable. And Ukubekwa is a thing. You can't avoid it. You need to do it. You have to do it. And you're going to buy certain things. And that's just how it is. I hope you guys have been clear. I hope you guys have explained. And I'm so passionate. Really, I'm so passionate about community life in a rural area or in rural areas. I'm really that passionate about it. And, I hope you can see it, because, I just have this fire within me. Even I can feel it when I'm talking about this. And it is not to like enforce anything on anybody. Like I said, if this is not for you, you have the right to go somewhere else. But just understand that you need to respect the way people live and the way they do things if you are gonna be part of their community. And it's a community based sort of type of environment. Rural areas are community based, and if you are not that kind of a person, you are really gonna alienate yourself like a lot. So with that, guys, I hope you've gained something, and I hope that I've clarified some of the things that perhaps you were not sure about or you didn't understand. And if you have any questions, do drop me an email or go to the comment section and tell me or share your thoughts. My email is rurallifeandsustainableliving@gmail.com, and I will respond to you, and I will give more insights if you need more insights. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. See you in the next one. Thank you.